For today's video, we're going to be looking through some pennies. But this box is an entire box of customer wrapped copper cents. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and I'm pretty excited about going through this box of copper cents. A little bit of background on this box. One of my subscribers, Asher5250, picked up 350 pounds of copper pennies. Now, when she bought this lot of copper pennies, she didn't know that it was that much weight. So when she got the order, she was pleasantly surprised, and she has been hunting them, but there's just too many to hunt on her own. So she asked me in an email if she could trade some of my mats for a whole box of 50 rolls, nothing but copper cents, according to her, in the rolls. I was like, let me do it. But I wanted a little more information. And she said she's been finding wheat cents, some foreign cents. She's not checking for varieties, so maybe I could find some of those in this box. Bottom line is I've got 2,500 cents to look through, probably mostly copper according to her. So we're going to be checking them for any varieties, any wheat cents, foreigns, you name it, see what kind of score we can get out of it. Now, Asher has okayed me to go ahead and use this hunt as one of my videos, so I appreciate the box for the trade and the ability to hunt it on one of my videos. Now that we've set the table, all 50 rolls are accounted for. Now, I'm not going to go through here and count each of the cents to make sure we have 2,500 of them, but just at a quick peek, all the ends that I can kind of see through the paper definitely appear to be copper. Who knows what we'll get? It might just be someone's discard. They could have already been hunted for varieties. Maybe we're going to get some common date wheat cents, but it doesn't matter. It's still fun to scope them. And in my experience, even some of the better educated numismatic people still can miss some of the lesser varieties. Now, I will be checking for the major varieties, but I'll also be looking for any of the minor varieties as well. Not all of them, but some of them. That being said, no sense lollygagging. Let's get this hunt started and let's take a look at some of these cents and see what they look like. So I've grabbed roll one out of the box and laid it out, and as you can see, it is all copper cents. I won't go through every roll with you guys, but I just wanted to show you that the roll that I grabbed first is definitely, or at least assumed to be, all copper, and that makes me excited. All right, we'll bring you in if and when we have a first find. We're on roll number 2, and I already see one Canadian and a second Canadian right there. Now, I won't film all the Canadians, but I will give periodic wrap-ups of how many we have found. This is a 1969 Queen Elizabeth II, and we have, it looks like a little bit more modern, 1983 as well. 2 Canadians, roll 2. Let's keep looking. Same roll, and we have our first wheat cent found. And this is going to be a 1947 S. Pretty chewed up, but it's still an S minted wheat cent from the 40s, and I'll take it. We're on roll number 5, and we have a second wheat cent. This one's going to be 1951 Denver. And I will point out so far in the first 5 rolls, we did find a zinc cent, 1993. Same roll, wheat cent number 3. It's going to be a 1946 Philly. Roll number 6. Wheat cent number 4 is going to be a 1957 Philadelphia. And I also see another Canadian, which will make 5 already in the box. And that's a 1964, so that's going to be a young head. First young head found, 5 Canadians, 4 wheat cents. Roll number 7, wheat cent number 5. 1950 on the nose. Same roll, and wheat cent number 6. 1958 Denver. Roll number 8, wheat cent number 7. 1937, oldest of the box. Same roll, and I see 2 more wheat cents because we've got a 1957 Denver facing us, and right behind it for wheat cent number 9 already is going to be a 1948 from Philly. Roll number 9 has at least 2 more wheat cents because I have a 1952 D here, and I see some wheat cent ears back here. So let's grab this one for number 10. 1941. And this one for number 11, the 52D. Roll number 10 and wheat cent number 12 will be a 1947 Philadelphia. Same roll, and we have kind of a mint error here. This is a misaligned die. You can see that the rim is closer to the In God We Trust motto on top, a little bit fatter on the bottom. The reverse of the coin is pretty well centered. So it's a misaligned die, not off by a ton, but off by enough that it might have some collectability. So I'm going to hold on to it for now. Just wanted to point that out. And by the way, we now have 2 zinc cents. Roll number 11 is going to yield wheat cent number 13, and it's a 1944 Philadelphia. Roll number 12, 2 more wheat cents, numbers 14 and 15. We've got a 1952 Philly, and we've got a 1944 also from Philly. Roll 13, wheat cent number 16, 1957 Denver. Roll 14 produced 2 more wheat cents, a 1944 Philly and a 1946 Philly, to put the total at 18. Roll 17 gave us our 19th wheat cent, a 1956 Denver. We now have 20 rolls hunted, and we're going to have 21 wheat cents. We found 2 more in the last few rolls, a 1941 Philadelphia and a 1957 Philadelphia. 22 rolls hunted, and now we have 24 wheat cents. We'll add a 1945 Philly, a 48 Philly, and a 56 Philly to the board. We are officially halfway done with the box, 25 rolls hunted. We will add 4 more wheat cents, a 44p, a 56p, a 57d, and a 58p to make 28 wheat cents through 25 rolls. 30 rolls hunted, 35 total wheat cents now because we're adding 7 more. A 45p, a 46p, 46p, 51d, and then 52d, 52d, and 52d. 35 wheat cents, 30 rolls. Will we hit 50? 35 rolls now hunted. We will add 3 more wheat cents to make 38. We've got a 45p, a 45p, and a 53p. We have now hunted 40 rolls, and we're going to have 41 wheat cents, adding a 46p, a 53p, and a 56d. I've been doing recaps every 5 rolls. Now we're going to go back to doing finds as we find them. Fingers crossed we get to 50 to make a full roll of wheat cents in this copper box. Well, it took 41 rolls to find a variety that we've been looking for, and we have found a 1972 DDO. Now, it is worn and the condition of the cent is not that great, but you can see the splitting here, the notching there, the notching here, and the notching on the 1. That's just some of the doubling on the date. If we slide it over to Liberty, you can clearly see the doubled LIB on this coin, a little bit on the E and the R. But the dramatic doubling takes place in the motto on top. Take a look at that. In God we trust. And it's across a nice medium to large spread on the entire motto, on the digits on the date, and on the word Liberty. Now, I had to take some time to look it up on Variety Vista because I knew it wasn't the FS 101. That one is severely doubled, even more so. But the 102 and the 107 are very similar in doubling. So I took a look at both of them, and they look like they're almost the exact same. But there's one marker I was looking for. This die gouge right here on the shoulder lapel, right on the jacket. It's a small die gouge right there, and in later stages, it lessens, but it's still there. So I brought my coin up, and I slid the coin to that spot, and you can barely make it out, but it's right there. There's the straight die gouge right there. And again, if I go back to Variety Vista, that's what we're looking for right there. So I was able to confirm it is not the 107. It is the FS 102, which is one of the better ones you can find. If it was the 101, it'd be a monster find, But let me go and bring up the PCGS price guide report on this coin and show you what it could be worth. So before I show the price guide report, I wanted to show you the damage on this coin. It's a shame. It's got a lot of rim damage, pretty chewed up. Maybe that's why it wasn't looked at under the scope. Sometimes collectors will not scope all the coins if they are in pretty rough shape. The details are really good on this coin overall. It does have a damage dent mark on his cheek, but at the end of the day, I would say this is probably XF details. But with the damage, it would not be one I would want to grade. And let me show you the value. It's not that high. In XF 40, a $15 coin, and 45, $16, $17. Had we got one that was in a low mint state brown, even at an MS 60, we're looking at $25. Still not worth the cost to grade, but had it been in a higher grade, it would have been worth it. At the end of the day, we paid a penny for it. And it's definitely worth more than that. It is the FS 102 confirmed, and I will take it. I will flip it up, and I'll add it to my Variety collection. Same roll, and we just found wheat cent number 42, and it's going to be a 1958 Denver. Oh, and we flipped it up. Still the same roll. Wheat cent 43 is going to be a 55p. Too bad it's not the DDO, but we'll still take a look at it either way. Definitely not the DDO, but still fun scoping any 55p. Wheat cent 43 found. Let's find more. Roll number 45, wheat cent number 44, and for the first time in a while, we are now one behind per roll average. 1953D. It's going to be tough making 50 unless we get two in a roll. Roll 46. Wheat cent number 45, a 1944 Philly. Same roll, we're going to have the oldest Canadian that we have found. This is going to be a King George VI from 1945. We've got a lot of Canadians in the box, only a couple of young heads and a King George VI, and a lot more modern ones. Roll 47, wheat cent number 46, 1950 Philadelphia. Roll 49, wheat cent number 47, 1958 Philly. Well, we have finished that copper penny box hunt, if you will, and we will fall short of 50 wheat cents, but I didn't expect to find 47 in the box. A lot of them are your common dates. The oldest find was a 1937 Philadelphia, so about what you expect to find when you're hunting copper cents bought in bulk. We did have 12 zinc cents, and the majority of them are 1993 and 1986, kind of odd. We did find also that Misaligned Die, 1980, and I only kept one to show you that on these 1960Ds, you will find a lot of them that have die chips in the date. I have a lot of mint state or BU ones that I have from a purchase from a long time ago, so I don't keep them unless they're in great shape. And being brown with some die chips, I typically don't keep these. I just want to let you know that there's a lot of die chips, especially on the wheat cents in the 50s and the copper cents from the 60s. We did also get a grand total of 30 Canadians in that box, 2 young heads from 64 and a 1945 King George VI. You guys know I pull out my 1959s. I did inspect the 59Ps for DDOs and the 59Ds for RPMs. Did not find that. We had 19 total from 1959. Only 2 cents that I figured I would keep and roll up of the bunch. There are a lot of nice 1977 through 1982 cents in here, but I don't need those. I'm going to go ahead and keep those 2 since they are nice. A lowly 1969S, not the DDO. The find of the box, in my opinion, is going to be this 1972 Philadelphia minted double diverse FS 102, and I will take it. It's a shame it has some rim damage, so it would probably not receive a straight grade, but if it did, it would be in the XF 40 to 45 range, in my opinion. Slight possibility of getting an AU 50, but too much damage to get that high, in my opinion. Either way, I'll take it. I'm not sure I had a 102 in my collection. I'll have to take a peek, but that makes me happy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this long but fun copper cent box hunt. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, Happy hunting, and thanks for watching. We had the 103, the 106, the 107, and a couple of different versions of stages of the 108. And now we've got the 102.